Hello everybody, Imminent Storm here. Welcome back to Transport Fever 2. In the last episode, we set up our first freight line right here to carry oil sand from our oil sand mine to the refinery at Santa Clarita. And that is up and running and doing fairly well, all told. Making a pretty decent profit. And we've got lots and lots of material that can be transported. Now, what I've gone ahead and done off screen is basically run the game a bit with the time paused. I've unpaused it for now. To generate some revenue and to pay down some loans. So I've got the loan paid down to $14 million. I had to basically max the loan out because we also threw a steam train on our passenger route here. It carries a lot more passengers than the little diesels that we started off with. There it is. And I did go ahead and sell one of the little diesel trains that we had, so that has been sold, so we are now down to just two vehicles on that line, the one steam train and the one diesel. And I don't think we'll probably change that layout until we're running like full with excess passengers everywhere. So for now, we'll just leave it as it is. And I think what we're going to work on today is continuing the freight line. And I did have a question come up about why I don't have the freight trains share the same tracks as the passenger trains. And I certainly could have done that in this case, because I mean, there's lots of open space on this passenger line. But the reason why I tend not to do that is because the freight trains tend to be a lot slower than the passenger trains. And so the passenger trains will basically be held up by the freight trains until they break off and go to their own stations. And since kind of passengers are frequency dependent, I like to keep the passengers on their own and run them as fast as I can. As fast as, you know, tracks and available equipment will allow. So I don't particularly like having freight and passengers on the same rails. Just the way it is. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to hook up a freight station here to our construction materials plant, and then run the line. And then we're going to have to set up new trains, and that's going to be where the expense is going to come in here. One thing that might be a good idea . Come in here and kind of do some preliminary leveling. Now, I have to decide, is this going to be a through station or a terminus? Through station would offer the most options. And that's not all that expensive. I think that's what we'll go ahead and do. Now, we're pretty high up in the hill here compared to this station. Now, this station is a bit up on the hill. So I think this is where we're going to have the freight line diverge a bit. There's no reason to put freight track any higher than 100 miles an hour. That's going to go downhill. What we really need to do is go uphill. We needed to go this way. Too much slope. Ooh, that's ugly. Okay. What we're going to do, we're going to send it in there. And then we're going to have the train cross there in the tunnel. All right, and then this is where we're going to need some signaling. Now, coming this way is where it's going to need to be signaled. There. We're going to also need to signal coming that way, because I'm going to keep this a single track. I don't really see a need to double track just yet. We can always rework this once it is double tracked. Because I want the freight train to stop and let the passengers run through. Let's just... Oof. Alright, let's just see what happens if I snap that on there. Whoa. That's what it's going to try and do? No. That is not what we wanted to do. Alright. Definitely going to want to have it ride up the hill. Try to avoid tunneling if at all possible. We don't need, like, severe slopes. Well, that's putting... We don't want the electrification on there just yet. Or on a negative. Speed things up a little bit so I can get some money in here. There we go. Let's see. Now, let's see if I try to hook it up from here. What will you do? 220,000? That's not bad. Do it. Alright. There we are. Wasn't quite as painful as I had anticipated. Now, this gets a little bit goofy here. Let's see, can I make this transition a little bit smoother? Yes, that should do. Well, that was something kind of came in pretty heavy there for costs. All right, Russian Class L, Leh Valley K6B post-war, PTM-1, ZIS 150 trucks. All right, so yeah, now trains are something I need to do. Let me see if I can use this depot. Might be cheaper and easier to just add a depot. Probably need some smoothing, but yeah. That's good. That's good. All right. So, also going to need a truck route. Well, right now, the first thing we're going to need to do is get sand here. So, if I go into the freight train, modify this guy. Let's see. Do the stake cars that I'm using carry sand? No, they don't. These gondolas do. If I were to add... Yeah, this little guy isn't going to carry that much. 7.6 million per vehicle to add that many gondolas to it. Actually, we need 3.3 million additional. What if I were to throw a better locomotive on here? Let's see, I was using the... Oh, Alco PA, let's see. That is a lot more expensive. What if I double-headed? Alright, so that'd be like, what, 1,200 horsepower? What steam options do we have? Russian's not bad. The Mikado. We need an additional 6.6 million. All right. Oh. The thing is, I'm also going to want to bring... Well, we're not going to worry about that right now. We want to bring fuel through as well. Yeah, big boy is way more than I need. LMS Turbomotive? $100 miles an hour, that's way more than I need. Last 9,000. Yep, modify it. Now I can borrow another 10, 12 million. We're gonna need another train. One that can carry... Am I thinking that I'm gonna need another platform here? Oh well, let's get the train. So let's create the line. Train freight. I'm starting to wonder if I shouldn't, instead of doing two separate lines, if I shouldn't extend this line. I add that station there. What's the issue? No path? What are you talking about? Oh, these are not one-way signals. Why are you complaining about no path? There aren't any breaks in the line. Did I miss a piece? I don't think so. Alright, let me just redo the line. Okay. So, we're going to start here. And then you're going to go there. And then you're going to hit here. And then go there. Right? That makes sense, because you're going to take the sand from here to there. Well, sand and eventually fuel from there to there. And then you're going to bring bricks and oil back. Well, yeah, bricks are going to have to be included, isn't it? I don't know what your problem is. Flip it around and go. Alright. Let me just follow it and see what it does. Okay. We're going to have to double this track up at some point so we can run multiple trains. Or just put a passing area in somewhere. Though double track is a lot easier to deal with. There's our sand. Yeah, pick the sand up. I'm going to go ahead and actually lay that all the way down. Alright, so you should fly to that station. Through here. $45, $44, yeah, it doesn't run in... I mean, it runs at a pretty decent speed, but it's not great. Ooh. Alright, you make it all the way there. Excellent. Drop that stuff off. And it is making bricks, and we are bringing bricks back. Yeah, either we're going to have to put more trains on here, or we're going to have to make this a much longer train. I'm not opposed to making this like a super long train with a ridiculous locomotive on it. Eventually. Maybe the big boy or the quintuplex or something. Or just a whole bunch of diesel locomotives. Alright, it seems to be working. I just got a little confused there for a moment. Alright, good. Good. Yeah, here's the thing, is it's going to pick up the bricks, and it's going to bring them back, and it's not going to have any room for the actual oil sand. Just have to see if we can work that out. Look at that come downhill. Oh well. How much are you going to fill up? Yep, the whole train got filled with bricks. So that's not going to be able to bring any sand. Now, is there a wagon? Just out of curiosity. That carries the oil sand, but not the bricks. Or the other way around, and then we can Doesn't look like it. That apparently carries everything. Well, what'll happen is that if we're not producing any, well, if we don't carry any oil sand, then we won't make any sand. So then we won't be able to bring any sand back to make any bricks, and then it'll pick up oil sand. It dropped off some bricks and picked up some oil sand. That's an interesting way to handle that. I think I have a mod installed that should let me, like, do this. Increase the actual capacity on the station. I need to make sure that this guy is actually making profit. It is making profit. And if I could get some oil moving or some fuel moving, then it'll probably make more. Because then it'll be carrying stuff in all directions. Curious as to what that's gonna do. Yeah, I think we're gonna need a bigger train. A much bigger train. All right, but it's a start. So we'll go ahead and end the episode here. And I'll probably have to... Let me get past the new year. Alright. There's a whole bunch more locomotives. Might have to switch to electric. Thought. Alright, well. I'll see. I have to make some think about it. I'll make some decisions about how I want to handle that. And then we'll probably be moving on to... well, either setting up the transport line to bring fuel in here and add fuel to that, and then start working on the passenger line over here. So, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and stop here for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.